Hello and welcome to the walking talking topic on vectors, question number 5 with me, Mr. Barton. Right, PQRS is a trapezium. Now, whenever it tells you a little fact like that, just switch on a second and think, what do I know about trapeziums? Well, trapeziums have one pair of parallel sides. So there it is, PS is parallel to QR. That's very important in vectors because that means those two lines are travelling in the exact same direction, so their vectors are going to be directly related to each other. Q to R is equal to 2 lots of P to S. So whatever that is, if you double it, you get Q to R. Okay, P to Q is going to be A. As soon as it tells you something, label it on with the arrow going the right direction. P to S is B. Now that's going to help us here because, and we might as well get this in whilst we remember it, Q to R is 2 lots of P to S. So that whole thing going along there, if that's B, that's going to be 2 B's to get all the way across from Q to R. Now what's happening here? X is the point on Q to R such that Q to X, the ratio, and then from X to R is 3 to 1. So if this is 3 bits, that's going to be equal to 1 bit. That's going to be very, very helpful later on. Okay, right, and I think that's all the information we need, so let's crack on. Express in terms of A and B, P to R. How are we going to get from P to R? Well, we can only travel along routes that we know. We can't go down here because we can get to S, but then we can't get from S to R. So we're going to have to go this way. We're going to have to go from P to Q and Q to R. Let's write that down. I'm going to go from P to Q, and when I get there, I'm going to go from Q to R. How do I get from P to Q? Dead easy, vector A. How do I get from Q to R? Well, that's pretty easy as well. So we've done the work in the prep there. It's twice as long as from P to S, so it's just going to be 2 B's all the way along there, plus 2 B's. A plus 2B. Easy. 2 marks are given us for that. Giving marks away. Now life's going to take a bit of a turn for the worst. How do I get from S to X? Now, I cannot, unfortunately, just nip up here and go across there because I don't know it. So I'm going to have to go this way, and this way. And the tricky bit is going to be this final leg of the journey. So let's have a little think about this whilst we're here. All the way across there is 2 B's to get from Q to R. The ratio from there to there is 3 to 1. So essentially you've got 4 parts all the way across, of which this journey takes up 3 of those parts. So, if I just write this down here, Q to X is going to be 3 out of the 4 parts, or 3/4 of the Q to R vector. Well, we know what the Q to R vector is, so I forgot my little arrow there. Q to X is going to be 3/4 of the Q to R vector was just 2 B's, so 3/4 of 2 B's. Now, as I've been saying all the way through these videos, to master vectors, you've got to be good at your fractions. What on earth is 3/4 of 2B? Well, 2B is 2 wholes. So 3/4 of 1 whole will be 3/4. 3/4 of 2 wholes would be 6/4, or 1.5. So you can think of it in terms of 3 over 2 B's if you want, or 1.5 B's if you prefer. It doesn't really matter, whatever works for you. So, or 1.5 B's. But as I say, you need, this will be non-calculator, you need to be good at sorting out those kind of calculations. Well, now it's going to be easy this, right? To get from S to X. So I'm going to go, to get from S to X, I'm going to go S to P, then I'm going to go P to Q, then I'm going to go Q to R. So S to P, well that's minus B. That's going the opposite way to B. So nice easy start, minus B. Then I've got to get P to Q. That's going to be travelling along vector A. So up vector A. And then when I get there, I've got to get from, sorry, I should have put here, flipping X, not Q to R, is it? Q to X, I'm going to there. So I've got to get from Q to X, so I've just worked that out there. That's 1.5 B's. So positive 1.5 B's. And now all I've got to do is tidy things up. I've got to get minus B, add on 1.5 B's. So I've minus 1 whole B plus 1.5 B's. I think that's just going to leave me with a half of a B, or 0.5 B's. And then I've got me positive A. So I end up with, and you write it however you want, A plus a half B, or half B plus A, or A plus 0.5 B, or so on. But I'll just give you a little tip just to finish. Just check that's right. To get from S to X, you're claiming you're travelling along an A and then you're going half a B. So let's see if that seems to work there. Now it's not drawn to scale, but you can get a good sense of it. You're travelling along an A, so A goes like that, and then when you get there, you're travelling along half a B. Yeah, that looks about right. That looks like that's not too far off what it's doing. So I'm going to stick with my answer for that one.